All right. Welcome to all the viewers hungering for some weekly UNPC. This is going to be a quote unquote very special episode, which is going to be the first weekly solo UNPC. So I'm going to try out some different ideas. Because, uh, so welcome. I'm just going to dive right into it. Uh, I'm going to use a setting that's been in the back of my mind for quite a while, which is the Ikumen Arm Stars Without Numbers sector. So this has been sitting in my mind for quite a while. So I couldn't find my old documents, but I'm gonna do a lot of it from memory, and then I'm gonna roll some characters, and we're gonna have kind of like a short adventure based on what I roll. Hello, ear trumpet. Welcome aboard to the unprecedented weekly UNPC with only one person. Okay, so mostly going from memory. Is that visible to everyone? I don't know if that's zoomed in enough, but they'll have to do. So we've got the planet Buvette. Uh, so I'm gonna do a single word summary. The stars without number tags. Yeah, we're gonna do a bunch of world building beforehand for future uses as well. Um, so I'm looking through my stars without number book, trying to recall what tags I rolled for this. Um, this should be Quarantine World. And there's a second one. It was heavy mining. Oh wait, it was Shackled World, I think. Shackled World. Okay. And so this was like a mad scientist world. This is like the Arabian world. And then we have a two more. Bunker world. Then we've got the space barbarians world. I lost a bunch of my notes, but these are the worlds I dreamt up a long time ago. I'll replace these later. Um, yeah. So these are the basic worlds. Let me add some other ideas here. Lottery system. Dissecting aliens, academic, rising power, Obi-Wan Kenobi, radiation, Kowloon Walled City. This one was there's no planet, 0G, and what else? Oh, psionics. Replace that with system. Okay. Damn. So for technical reasons, I really want to go find that list of planets. Where could I find that? Here we go. Here we go. Found it. Okay. Found the old names. So this is Quelzati. This one is Thorhill. This is Helif. Okay, cool. Okay. I know this isn't great radio, but this is what I'm doing. High population, religion. What's the tags? It's got to be something here. Oh, it was xenophiles and hatred. This one was xenophobes. Dang, trying to remember here. Preceptor archive. Some of us what? Warlords. Okay. Yes, not good radio. I'm assuming I'm a second tab content. ear trumpet, but maybe I'm primary tab content. Okay, so here is our planet. Brief little explanation is that the stars without numbers setting assumes that you're at kind of like a single planet level of technology and society. We're not doing sort of space empires. Each planet has their quote unquote own deal, and that should be easily summarizable, and it should be the source of adventure, and it should be source of easily recognizable characters. So it's supposed to be a little stereotypical. I have these set up where the relationships here is essentially they're all independent, but Quilzadi and Thorhill have a love-hate relationship. There's also a recent war between Quilzadi and Helif. Trinina Shally is kind of like the source of like the stereotypical space pirates. So these are kind of like guys with mohawks and fighters that jump in. They have really sophisticated jump technology, but it's dangerous. It's suicidal. So they have a bizarre space pirate culture. The other ones are uneasy peace or hate and love. And Buvette is kind of like the most normal space cowboys. They're like quote unquote the good guys of the setting. The rest of them are pretty weird, or they have kind of like you wouldn't want to live in their societies. Buvette is probably the best. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a d5. Let's pop open this one. So this is where my character is going to be from. Ooh boy, space pirates. Okay. A character. I'm going to use the stars without number professions sheet. Roll a d20. Rolled a 5. A dilettante from the Space Barbarian planet. Now I rolled a class, so I'm going to roll a d6 divided by 2. I am a psychic. That is cool. I'm going to roll on the psychic skill sheet, a d6, a 4, telekinesis. Okay, perfect. Excellent. I'm going to roll the bonus skill here. Give me some more flavor. Punch. Okay, cool. Okay. So based on this, I feel like I'm kind of like a Paul Atreides type guy. Like I'm getting that vibe. I'm skilled in martial arts and telekinesis. So I'm probably connecting those two. I live in 0G. Let's see. Now I guess I'll roll to see where I'm having my adventure. So I'm going to roll a d5 again. Nope, reroll. Ooh, okay. So I am in Trinita Shally, which is a 0G planet system. There's no home planet there. Let's go back here. Okay. And then I'm going to pull open the Stars Without Number tag system. And I've got a Psionics Academy quest. All right. I think I'll open up the manual here. Spray it all over the internet. Doo-doo-doo. Okay. So let's flip over to sector creation. Then we zoom down to Psionics Academy. Okay. This world is one of the few that has managed to redevelop the basis of psychic training. Without this education, the potential psychic is doomed to either madness or death. Science academies are rare enough that off-worlds are often sent here to study by wealthy patrons. The secrets of psychic mentorship, protocols and techniques that allow a psychic to successfully train another are carefully guarded at these academies. Mostly are affiliated with the planetary government. In this case, there's also warlords, so we can go down to warlords. Boop, boop, boop. Numerous powerful men control private armies sufficient enough to cow whatever local government may exist. On the lands that they claim, their word is law. Most spend their time oppressing their own subjects and mercilessly pillaging those of his neighbors. Most like to wrap themselves in the mantle of ideology, religious fervor, or an ostensibly legitimate right to rule. Cool. Perfect. Let's grab that. Grab Psionics Academy. Okay. For those not used to Stars Without Number, the way this works is that each world has multiple tags, and you're supposed to mash the tags together in order to form elements. So, let's go back up here. Enemies, friends, complications, things, and places. So let's quickly come up with an enemy, which is a combination of a warlord enemy and a psychic academy enemy, which is kind of fun. So I'll roll a d4 on the warlord enemies. Avaricious lieutenant. Excellent. And I'm going to roll a d4 on the psychic academy enemies. Resentful townie. Interesting. These are some weird enemies. Okay. Interesting. Let's do the same for place. So we've got a bunch of different places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The warlord place is a gory battlefield. And the academy place is the school library. How can the school library also be a gory battlefield? Let's get a little bit more. So let's go over to, there is a, there's a big table of quest ideas. Here we go. Adventure seeds, rolling a D100. That's not a D100. 44. Okay. A librarian friend has discovered an antique databank with the coordinates of a long lost pre-tech cache hidden in a place sacred to long vanished religion. Librarian is totally unsuited for danger, but necessary to decipher the obscure religious iconography needed to unlock the cache. The cache is not the anticipated thing, but something far more dangerous. Oh, spoilers. Okay, cool. This is good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to mash these together. Let's see. Right, little technical difficulties here. We'll work through it. How's everyone doing tonight? Do a little crowd work while I save all my notepad documents. Do, 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 do. Do. Okay. Great. Then I do this, and this. Excuse me. Okay, cool. I'm going to clear the dice. Okay. So locations, enemies, locations, Warlord tag info, Cynex Academy. Start sharing this. Okay. And this is our quest. Okay. Hidden in a place. Got it. So this is some other information. Okay, so there are a couple different things we also need to roll, which is names for our characters and for these enemies. We will do. You know what? We're going to do Spanish names. Okay. My character's name is 56. That is Javier. My Javier. What? Nope, that's not right. Javier. Nope. Javier Jurado. My friend name is Carlos. No, we'll do Carmela. Carmela what? Huh. Carmela Guerra. Then my enemy is named. I rolled Javier again. That's really funny. Javier, the other Javier. Bernardo. Bernardo Santoro. Okay. Pre-tech. Okay, we need a thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do. I don't know why it's doing that, but a 3 and a 3. A psychic research prize. That is also a warlord's personal battle harness. Okay. I think I've rolled enough, and now we're going to do the synthesis. Okay, so this looks like it's shaping up to be a adventure story where my character, a dilettante, is involved with a psychic academy, a friend named Carmela. The psychic academy is Lotus Academy. I'm involved with a friend who works at the academy. She is what kind of trainer is she? Go back to the table. I'll roll d6. This camera breaking my balls here. Meta psionics. Interesting. So she's actually kind of a big deal. Bernardo Santoro. So she has found one thing I've already done for the world building in this world is that the entire system is basically a gigantic asteroid belt. So there are no planets that are habitable. So it's just a giant disk of asteroids, and people inhabit habitats that are in the ring. This is also inspired by Neil Stephenson's Seven Eves. I thought that was a very cool setting, which is basically human habitation in the broken up Luna in the far future. So that's a very interesting setting to me, kind of like the zero G aspect. Meta scientist teacher. Let's see here. Psychic Research Prize, the Warlord's personal battle harness. So there is a river of psychic energy that goes through the belt. I'm gonna make it have a mystical name, aka Spanish name. La Marea. Maybe I should go with Latin. Latin's kind of the cool Spanish. Oh, I can't pronounce that. Estos. I'm just gonna do little Dark Souls here. Uh, so the treasure is a psychic research prize. Um, Shali Academy is what used to exist there. And when the scream happened, it interacted with the Estus, and it basically blew out the consciousness of anyone that remained on the Shali Academy, and it kind of like made their souls or ghosts kind of wander the belt infinitely. Um, so the kind of like the psychic spiral that used to exist is essentially corrupted. Yeah, we're gonna do science fantasy here. Okay, so psychic research prize. Do I want it to be an ancient golden age thing, or do I want it to be like a modern technology? And why do I want it? I think what I want is something that is gives kind of medium godlike powers. So um okay, got it. So this is a relic of Shali Academy. This is a uh, control extension suit, and basically it allows you to tap into any sort of latent psychic energy that is around, and focus your own powers so uh, they can do much more. Um, so this is something that was used. Something used frequently in the Wars of Unification, which is kind of like what unified Trinita Shally before the. Let's see, where is it? There we go. Tilde. But lost. So it's kind of just like a bog standard artifact. Cool. Shally Academy. That is the treasure. Gory battlefield. School library. How do I combine those? Well, this is a the ship, part of Lotus Academy. Let's do let's see. The Clarion. So that is currently on an expedition. I'm aboard the Clarion. It belongs to the school, and we are edging towards the Estes. Okay, makes sense. Bernardo, let's figure out what his deal is. He's an avaricious lieutenant and also a resentful townie. So townie in this context is a guy that is in the academy, but physically located in the academy, but he doesn't have psychic powers. Okay, let's see. See if I can dig up a faction document that I have. No. Can't find it. Okay, I can't find the character, the list I made a long time ago. So I'm just have to wing it. So there's two main factions, which is you've got kind of like the classic barbarian raider types, and then you've also got the like genteel insular types. And so they're at a light truce. Let's just roll on a table to determine the names of these groups. Okay, I guess we're going to do Latin for these. The Atrox. And colorful, let's say. The Lucent. Okay. Got those. Okay. I think I've got quite a bit. Finally, I need to kind of flesh out my character. So I think the way I should do it is I have telekinesis. I'm a dilettante. I don't know what other connotations a dilettante has. Let's look it up. Specific dilettante stuff. I have a general idea what dilettante means, but let's talk about it. Your hero never had a profession, strictly speaking, but spent their formative years in travel, socializing, and a series of engaging hobbies. They might have been the scion of a wealthy industrialist, a planetary noble's younger offspring, or a hanger-on to someone with money and influence that they lacked. By the time your hero's adventure starts, they've run through the money that once fueled their lifestyles. Extreme measures may be necessary to acquire further funding. Um, I do like the idea of me being a hanger-on rather than a nobleman. That sounds more fun. Um, and the skills listed for starts with that number is connect. So I have a lot of friends. Let's create the NPC that is who I'm hanging off of. Um, so I'll roll another d20. That is a 6. An entertainer. I like this. Ooh, what kind of entertainment? What kind of entertainment would be in these? Zero G belts. Okay. I think I'm going to call it storm gliding. How do you spell entourage? Storm Rider. Let's open up Spanish names. Javier Alameda. So this is like an extreme sport in asteroid belts. It requires a special jetpack suit, and it involves dodging from asteroid to asteroid. Highly skilled, highly dangerous. Javier hit one, and there goes my career. So that was my thing. I was the entourage. I was a confidant and bodyguard, but also I helped him cheat sometimes by using telekinesis. How do I spell entourage? Let's look it up. Entourage. So I was a member of this entourage, and he died, and now I am essentially searching for a new career. Uh, I just got out of like a belt mining thing, but it didn't really work out. I don't like working with my hands. I prefer to, you know, talk to people. So I'm trying to find my place in the world, and I'm gonna meet up with Carmela, who's got a job for me. Okay. Um, then let's quickly stop presenting that. And then pull open this one. Okay. Let's do that. Okay. So fate questions. This seems rather complicated. More complicated than I expected. Um, Okay, I think I can just use this. This will be enough. So between 0 and 10 is a crit, yes. And then they've got a normal yes, and then a no, and an exceptional no, a crit no. Okay, got it. I think that's good enough. All right. Uh, let's get started. Got my notes here on the second screen. But yeah, Javier, I uh, tossing and turning within my sleeping bag um, in uh, total darkness. I awake. Um, Bringing my hand over the zipper, I pull and unseal myself from the sleeping bag into a small Spartan cabin. Uh, the uh, the tiny porthole on the right reveals the darkened scene, the familiar scene of uh, small floating white uh, particles in the distance, like distant dust, uh, framed by further away stars. Um, the uh, I pull myself out, unzipping the bag further, and propel myself arm over arm to the sonic shower, uh, reflipping myself and orienting my feet towards the head of the shower. I click on a display button. Uh, the subaural hum of the sonic shower begins to trace itself over my feet. Uh, Grabbing down at the head of the sonic shower, I push it roughly, absent-mindedly over the rest of uh, my body up from the bottom. Um, Flakes of dust, uh, tiny fragments of dander are propelled out into the rest of the cabin, but simultaneously gust, uh, a drain uh, on one of the sides opens, and I can feel the negative air pressure in the room um, drawing out the particulates from my slumber. Um, I uh, grab a hand mirror and bring it to my face, giving a winning smile, uh, testing my charms. Uh, I like what I see. I uh, stick the mirror back on the Velcro side of the sonic shower and continue getting dressed. Um, the black and white uh, tiger leopard print shirt the black and yellow striped tie, um, tools of my trade, surprise them, entertain them, look good. I uh, click the two bands on my cuffs and push off from the floor um, to the door of my cabin. Uh, I grab my system. Uh, I grab the ship radio, a tiny headset uh, shaped like a Bluetooth um, plug-in. I put one of them into my ears and set my status to active. Um, a a pleasing synthetic female voice comes over the ship's radio. Good morning, Javier. You have 0 new messages. I I frown. Uh, Looks like none of the people I reached out to on the Clarion wanted to meet. I'm gonna have to kind of put some more hooks in the water, try to get something going in case this doesn't turn out. But uh, I click a few buttons on the uh, ship's radio, and the music it was playing is silenced. Uh, Pressing a button on the side of the cabin, the door swings outwards, or the door slides into the wall, uh, revealing a well lit uh, 0G hallway. Um, Scintillating decorations on the top and bottom. Uh, I look out through the blinds towards the sun. Uh, a a gory and uh, bloated red, uh, dim enough that um, I can look at it with my unaided eyes. Uh, and I turn away to the hallway. Using the uh, finding a spot on one of the sides, I push off, proceeding to the lobby of the Clarion. Uh, Buzzing in uh, conversation, 12 or so students, uh, all members of the Lucent, uh, pour over data pads and illuminated uh, thin prints. Um, as I scoot my way by, I look at them to see if there's any familiar faces, uh, anyone that I can begin to ply my trade against, make connections. Uh, Roll. Soft, yes. Um, I stare at each of the faces in turn. Uh, looking for something I can work with. Ooh. Um, one of the students uh, staring glumly ahead, less animated than the others, uh, catches my eye. Um, always paying attention to dynamics. I angle myself over to the table, um, and smile at the students. Hi there. I'm a associate friend even of Carmela. On this trip. Are you studying here? Archaeology? Something like that? Um, the uh, uh, a female student briefly looks to the left and right, uh, seeking support from her fellow students, and turns to me and says, "Yeah, we are part of the archaeology team. We're doing a group project here. Hope to find uh, something for our uh, degrees. Uh, I can tell from the blue badge on your chest that you're a psychic." And I look down and flick the badge a little bit, and I say, yes, I have the gift. I haven't put it to good use in recent times, so I'm hope to perhaps help the 12 of you, the 11 of you with your project, if I have some time. Um, are you looking for help? Do you have any problems that I can help with? I've got many talents. Uh, the female student answers with a yes. Um, she says, "We're approaching a impacted probe site in 3 days. I don't see any annotations on your psychic powers badge, so I don't know what your skills are, but uh, we could use someone that's suit rated to help us out with some equipment. In terms of pay, we're pretty tightly on a budget, but she looks over to her friends. But we may be able to scrape together a favor or two. I uh, keep my face an impassive smile, but uh, inward I'm frowning. Uh, Another damn strikeout. Uh, yes, I nod and I say, "Well, I've got to get going. I've got to talk to Carmela. What did you say your name was?" And I receive her name and note it down. Uh, putting this in a near the bottom of my stack of things to do. I wave, promise to reach them on the ship's radio sometime soon, and turn down the hall towards the conference rooms where uh, Carmela um, asked me to meet. Grabbing a juice tube from the galley, I float my way to the conference room, uh, shifting open the door. The room is dark. The projector is on, but turned to a dead channel. Carmela has oriented the conference room in density settings. So two chairs, one on the ceiling, one on the floor, exist in the room. She sits on the chair on the ceiling. She says, Javier, I hoped we could talk about a couple things. I say, really, why the 180 setup? Keeping things impersonal? She smiles and says, yes, in a word. I like a sense of distance, and orienting like this is how I do it. We're not friends, Javier. You're very charming, but I'm not looking for any new friends right now. I need an employee. I need a task done. I my demeanor changes. I shift my arms, shift my shoulders, rather than a kind of a people pleasing smile. I settle into a relaxed smirk. I say, "Well, that's a load off of my mind. Get to yeah, if you've got a job, I'm very interested in keeping it professional. I I float. I push off the side of the conference room and float towards the chair, reclining in it. I click a button on my uh, shoes uh, to activate the modest magnetic field that'll keep me stuck on the ground. I I l- relax, stretch out a little bit. So Carmela, what's the job? She uh, pulls out a uh, remote clicker, and the projector whirs to life, showing uh, a large uh, asteroid, uh, a dark purple vein of miscolored stone cuts through the middle of it. Uh, the the indication is that it is RXV 1793. No name designation. Uh, Poison category. poison category asteroid, no economic value. Size category, stadium. In the darkened room, the white globe with the dark purple stripe passing through it is reflected on my eyes. I stare at the asteroid. Poison category, huh? No economic value. I can see why something like this would be ignored. Carmela nods and flips open a new screen. Metallurgical scans. Trace/0. Human artifacts. 0. She flips through a number of geographic scans in false color that I attempt to understand. But there's a reason why I dropped out of school. And that reason is I care nothing for electronics and technology. Bores me deeply. Putting on a fake look of interest, my eyes glaze over at the false color scans. Interesting. You've gathered a lot of data, Carmela. Does anyone know about this asteroid? I assume that you're about to tell me why this one is interesting. She clicks over to a new reading, a new sheet of information. The poison category asteroids are almost always avoided. The poison isn't very well understood and its effect on psychic energy. But one thing that I know and one thing that I can sense is certain asteroids can obscure their contents. It's almost like they have a will of their own. And if you look at this picture, she presents a pixelated picture. You can see that there's an entry hole here. This isn't a normal impact. This is somebody drilling into this asteroid. I believe this dates back a long time. It dates back to the Scream event, and which means that there is a pre-tech cache in there, something incredibly valuable. I scratch my eyebrows. This is well, Carmela, am I working alone here? Just all by my lonesome? I do have a pretty high space rating. You've seen my talents. I Javier taught me a thing or two. Back 2 years ago. She tilts her head and she says, "Don't talk about Javier. It just makes you look like an amateur." I pull my head back, uh, cautiously, looking at her. I say, "Okay, so you don't respect that part of me, but there is a reason why you're talking to me, isn't there?" I slightly adjust my uh, blue and white checkered tie, flopping it down. She says, uh, "Yes, there is. Uh, you are one of the most charismatic people I've ever met, Javier, and I want you to collect a team. I don't want you to share the specifics of the mission, but I do need you to lead the team. In exchange, you're going to get 40% of the proceeds. I do have a pre-tech buyer already, and it could be significant. We're going to do 40, 40, 20 for the crew. I uh, I look over. I say, "How many? Do you have an estimate of the credits? We're doing shares." Carmela shrugs and says, "Given that we don't know if this could be a dud, we're just going to do shares. It's a higher risk for us, but I don't have a lot of working capital here. Uh, I've got 30,000 credits to wet people's whistles, get the equipment, but a lot of this is going to a lot of this is going to rely on uh, the people you collect." I stare down at the ground, contemplating. Uh, okay, I see. I see. Well, this sounds very lucrative. Do you have any concerns about your higher ups? She shrugs. She shrugs and shakes her head. Uh, the current plan is, uh, as the ranking metapsionicist, the current plan is, we're going to stop by uh, a secondary asteroid, uh, TN 86732, a minor asteroid, um, that has some probe samples. That's going to keep the archaeologists busy. We're going to uh, stop by the poison asteroid for observation and for analysis of the samples that we collected earlier. During that time, that's when you're going to do the task. I nod. Very well. So you want me to collect a team? Well, I know that uh, Kellen's Port is pretty close behind. Do you have a drifter available? She nods, and jingles a set of keys, tossing it slowly, slow mo in the air. I uh, pick it up out of the air and hook it onto my belt. Well, then, just share of the credits. Then she nods and uh, passes over the 20,000 credits. Uh, Time's a wasting, I say, and pull myself out from the chair. Clicking off the magnetic boots, I uh, head towards the door. I say, "So tell me, are you suiting up for this as well?" Yes. Uh, she she says, "Got to earn my keep somehow. Uh, I have a pretty low suit rating, but uh, I'm going to be invaluable in figuring out the hazards of the asteroid. It is a poison asteroid. Don't forget that." I nod and push my way out the door towards the hangar bay. Uh, the row of small tube entrances to the drifters. Uh, I pick up the tight seated cargo drifter and lower myself through the ladder into the claustrophobic and tiny uh, cockpit space. Um, Sensing my keys, it hums to life. Uh, 12 displays popping open. Uh, the uh, the fit, uh, tight fitting uh, seat of the drifter uh, with biomedical tubes. Sitting down in the seat, I click off the biomedical integration. I won't be needing it for such a short flight. And I prepare for disembarkment from the uh, Clarion. Clicking button after button, the port seals. There's a hiss and a sudden bump of momentum as I am pushed down or pushed up rather, shackling the seat belts. I access the controls with my right hand. Uh, Kellen's port is a quick 20-minute flight away. The asteroid density here is low. Uh, I open the system map briefly. We're sufficiently far away from the shifting boundaries of the Estes River in space. Glowing gold and red in the system indicator. Uh, uh, a large uh, indication uh, that says local Estes behavior normal standard. Uh, Always got to check that, I say as I click over the system map and put my foot on the gas. Pushed back in my seat, a force of uh, a solid G already of acceleration, pushing me backwards. Um, it feels good. Um, Spiraling outwards. Uh, the let's see, Kellen's port. Um, Kellen's port is an O'Neill cylinder, uh, cylindrically a artificial cylinder, rotating to provide 0.25 g of centrifugal force gravity. Um, Kellen's port is one of the ancient structures, dating back to just after uh, the Unification Wars. One of the first great projects, uh, showing its age. Fragments of the uh, outer circle show cracks, missing pieces. Uh, the Staring deep, directly into the glass, uh, I can see areas of translucency, as if huge scratches have been scraped upon the pristine glass. Uh, Within the chamber, uh, a apple orchard, uh, rows and rows of trees, uh, but also the hydroponics pipes to support them. No longer a place of recreation. Kellen's Port is uh, a cider manufactory. Um, a beeping sound as my drifter is hailed. Uh, all right. I click on the radio button and speak to system Kellen's Port Control. Kellen's Port Control. This is Javier. I'm coming from the Clarion drifter. One person to declare no contraband. Uh, the a bored sounding man's voice comes over the radio. Uh, Pilot of the drifter, Javier, do you consent to a 120 credit docking fee? This fee implies a contract, which I will explain the terms to you now. The system control for Kellensport continues to talk about the legal requirements of docking. I strain my ears for anything new or interesting that's changed recently. There is a change. Um, is I find hints. I find pieces. Is the change related to crime? Hard no. Unrelated to crime. Um, Entirely unrelated to crime. In fact, an indication that crime is low. Is it related to technology? No. Is it related to economics? Yes. Um, Straining my ears, I say, please repeat that last part again. Uh, the uh, the board system control voice snaps out of his reverie and says, yes, I'll start the previous paragraph again. All uh, intellectual property generated on the Kellensport entertainment, performance, uh, invention, uh, all imply a 5% share of the proceeds. This contract applies to scientists, engineers, artists, entertainers. I say, hold on. The what's new? The why is this a change? System control voice angrily says, "Sir, I could just read you the contract. You need to agree to it, in order to dock, or you can go the other way." I said, "Very well, continue, continue." The the voice continues the rest of the contract, which seems rather standard. Um, I say, "I do affirm that I agree." Uh, the voice says, "Thank you. You have been granted docking permission to dock number 4. Please proceed within the next 20 minutes. Welcome to Kellensport." Uh, I pull my ship close enough to the station and initiate automated docking procedures, uh, shifting my shoulders left and right, loosening up, getting ready to face Kellensport. Uh, I get ready. Um, a click and a hiss as the docking port mates to the ship, the small drifter shuttle, and I climb up the ladder and press the open button. The hatch flips out, and the uh, bright, sweet smell of Kellensport uh, rushes in. Mm. I pull myself out. See what's changed recently. Got to figure out what's going on here. Um, the the immediate vibe is uh, bright openness, uh, almost limitless space uh, to float through. Uh, but I'm not floating. I feel the gravity on every inch of my body, reminiscent of acceleration. It's always invigorating to be under gravity. It's like I feel momentum like I'm traveling. Uh, pulling myself out of the hatch directly onto uh, a red shag carpet. I look left and right on the concourse, um, almost like a casino, glittering lights, uh, beeping, the sounds of laughter, conversation. Uh, I see large groups of uh, Aatrox here, uh, muscled, tattooed. They're uh, mohawks of different colors, uh, sticking straight out, prepared for the occasion. Uh, Grouping in flocks, almost like birds of paradise. Uh, a uh, exciting arcade game, only a couple feet away. Uh, an explosion and a scream issuing from it as uh, an Aatrox with a uh, plastic pistol with a cord on it is blasting away uh, uh, squat, barbaric looking surface dwellers of some unnamed planet. I uh, look around a little uncomfortably. Uh, Aatrox are usually gunning for a fight, uh, but they do love danger. Uh, Slipping out onto the carpet, I walk further, uh, looking outwards to the quote unquote outside, the interior of the cylinder. Um, I get the hint of agoraphobia that uh, all the inhabitants of Shali feel in such a large exposed space. But it quickly passes, something I've learned to stomach. Uh, I look out the apple orchard, rows and rows of tall, spindly trees bearing fruits, pipes of nutrients pushing by. Um, 20 workers, clipboards, lab coats, looking over the orchard, uh, some of them scanning the different fruits. Uh, let's see. Walking through the shag red carpeting path between the two rows of orchard trees, uh, I approach the center of the system. A large stage has been set up. Uh, Looking closely, I can see that it's actually made out of wood. Astoundingly, uh, a uh, a lucent uh, tourist to my right is snapping a picture. I look over at them and try to catch their attention. So what is this? Uh, the lucent pulls down his camera and looks over at me. He says, "Yeah, this is Kellen's Sport new big thing. This is a it's called a wooden stage. Entertainers stand up there, and uh, you know, apparently there's a concert. There's live music occasionally. It's going to be apparently they used to do something like this on old Earth, so it's being advertised as ancient and primal, man. I don't know if it's worth it. I think it's going to be like a weird experience, but I don't know. They're trying something. They've got a bunch of artists, musicians that are coming to come do live music in this big area. So, uh, yeah, the concerts tonight. I I nod and walk onward uh, towards the uh, stands of the concert that are currently empty. Okay, let's see. I put a put a boot down on one of the chairs and uh, begin to think, come up with a plan. All right, so we've got 20,000 credits. I flip open a notebook. I think we're gonna need 3 generic workers. We're gonna need 1 technical specialist. And we're gonna need someone who's a technologist. So 3 generic workers, 1 minor, 1 technologist. I'm gonna have to flip through these. Um, I normally I would go on for someone that's down on their luck, someone on the cheap, but I think I'll still do that this time. The job's dangerous. It's going to require someone who wants to take risks. Uh, the poison asteroid will mostly get rid of everyone reputable. Uh, so I'm gonna have to go around the edges and promise a lot. Um, I get to work. There are 6 different bars and venues. Nearby asteroid miners, uh, punk Atrox, uh, perhaps uh, desperate a member of the Lucent that needs some cash to pay a bride price or something like that. Um, I methodically scout these out and attempt to start recruiting. Um, the first question is um, do I have any issues recruiting the 3 generic workers? No. Uh, relatively simple. Are they all Atrax? Yes. Okay. So 3 Atrax workers. Do I encounter any problems hiring the miner? Yes. Okay. Um, is the guy too desperate or not desperate enough? Too desperate is yes. He's not too desperate. He's not desperate enough. Um, the 3 thug-like workers pounding beers from the out of the 20k credits. A couple rounds will keep them out of my hair for a while I solve the minor problem. I am hanging around the equipment manufacturing and maintenance bays. A tall man with a robot arm, a lucent like me, although his multicolored patterns are perfunctory and not made to impress like mine. Uh, a cybernetic eye, uh, probably not. I turn to him and I say, "Are you are you sure about this? This is a great deal. This is like you're between 2 jobs right now, a significant uh, amount of credits. I've told you the basics of the project, but still you're not interested, huh? Too dangerous?" The miner glumly nods. Um, so what does he want? See if we can get something out of character. I want to try a different fate table. Let's see here. I'm looking at mythic. Hmm. Remote event. He turns to me and says, uh, "Now's not the time to make big plays, kiddo. Now's the time to bunker down, hunker down. I've got a cousin in the defense forces. Uh, there's uh, people coming from off world." I raise an eyebrow. Really? They found a route in here? He says, "Yep, they got a little military ship into system, so they have the route. Uh, naturally, dispatched pretty easily, but uh, this is quite a big precedent. Never happened before in history." I say, who's your contact?" He says, I don't want to talk about it, but I appreciate your offer, but I think you should whatever project you're working on, I think you should delay it for a while. Uh, now, leave me. I've got to polish off the scotch. I turn away, uh, a little disturbed. Um, the system's been closed for almost 800 years, so the idea of someone from out of system breaking their way in, astounding. Um, with the miner unsuccessful, I attempt to recruit a technologist. Do I have any issues recruiting a technologist? No. Is the technologist lucent? Strong, yes. The technologist a woman wearing a black visor. Um, $17. Nervous, scared. Oops. um, wearing the houndstooth pattern, uh, white and gold. I recognize her as a minor member of the second largest clan. Um, tapping her nails anxiously on the uh, darkened table in the library. The technologist badge on her chest, showing tremendous skill. But her demeanor shows that she needs something else. The immediate negotiations went well. She was interested in the job. She seemed more interested in the challenge of landing on and entering a poison asteroid, but in this case, let's do a quick name generation here. Nope, not that one. 39. Dolores. Dolores Borrego of the Borrego clan. Uh, yes, sounds fascinating. Sounds like it would require tremendous skill, something that I've always wanted to test myself. I roll my eyes a little bit underneath my mask of joviality, but I say, if it's a challenge you want, uh, it's going to be fantastic, and I can promise you 3% of the proceeds. She she uh, taps her fingers, and she says, uh, "How much equipment do you have yet? Have you picked out everything that you're going to need?" I say, "No, I was going to work with you on exactly what was required, Dolores." She says, "I have a list. I only work with this list. I can send it to you." She whips out a data pad. Um, a million pieces of specialized equipment scroll past. Uh, beneath my eyes, I say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! Are all these available on the station?" She says, "No. Some of this are specialist gear and require for us to travel to uh, other locations. Although all of them are there's no secret equipment. There's no restricted equipment in this list." I say, We're doing this relatively soon. We've got to make do with what's on the station, what we can afford." She says, "That's working under significant limitations. My effectiveness will be reduced highly." I say, "Yeah, yes, Dolores. Are you signing on?" I extend a pinky. She says, "Yes, I do. I do affirm. 3% sounds fair. Uh, I'm going to immediately go over to the equipment lockers and try to come up with a plan with the equipment that's on this station." She immediately walks off, not even making eye contact with me. All right, I've worked with people like that before. I can do it again. Still need that minor though. Um, am I going to have to settle for an amateur? Yes, pretty strong yes. Um, stepping out uh, into the hallways, a uh, older man in his late 40s is screaming at a faced intern. He's the intern seems not intern, but young worker. Uh, the kid seems unsteady on his face. Doesn't have his system legs yet. His gravity legs. Uh, he seems completely distraught, nauseous. The man is red faced, screaming. "Do you have any idea how much equipment you ruined with your little mistake, if you call it that? Who told you to do that?" The kid stammers, tries to grab the wall for support. I I, I Ricardo told me to set the drill on setting 7, but I put it on 10. It, but it wasn't locked to set 'em. It wasn't locked to 7. You weren't using the locking system. And the man says, "Yeah, because people on my ship know what they're doing. I'm going to tell you right now. 15 years ago, I would have put you out the airlock for the amount of damage you did. You would have had to get home by yourself, no suit. You're fucking lucky that I'm leaving you here. The kid strains and says, "No, please, I wa- I need to get back. I need a job." The the red faced man uh, shoves him hard in the zero G. Stepping up, I rush forward. This is my chance. I'm going to try to defend this kid. Failure. The uh, jumping over, I attempt to steady the kid with my arm, but uh, it's it's more of a punch. Uh, he flops slowly in under the 0.25 G uh, across my arm. The angry miner laughs and says, "You gonna you yeah? You see now you got muggers. Just take care of them for me, huh?" And he uh, gives the kid a kick in the ankle uh, as he turns away. Let's get going, boys. This guy's worse than a hole in our crew sheet. Uh, the kid falls onto the carpet. As he does, he pukes out the side. The gravity sickness getting to him. He says, I don't have any money. I got 40 credits." Tightening my tie, I say, "No, no, no. I'm not trying to mug you, man. I'm trying to rescue you. I'm trying to. I'm not trying to hurt you. I don't want your money. Let's get you cleaned up. Uh, I'll give you a drink and a hot meal." Pulling him up, I bring him over to the nearest restaurant table and order food and mineral water. "What's your name, kid?" He stammers. Uh, who are you? Vincente. Vincente Vera. I look him over. He doesn't have many obvious markers that distinguish him as Atrox or Lucent, but I can infer that he is. Let's do it again. That he an Atrox? No, he's a Lucent. I say, "Show me your crest. Who are you? What's your deal?" He shows uh, the minor uh, green and blue stripes of the unorganized clans of the Lucent. I mean, that's okay. I don't have to be kind of like a big name to work here. But yeah, I heard what you said, and I'm putting together a crew. It's going to be a little dangerous, but if you're willing, it's going to pay pretty well. You can get off this station. It's almost too easy convincing. Vince Vera joins the crew. Okay. Time passes. I find a disused corner of the arcade, broken down machine, and I look at my motley crew that I've assembled. The 3 Aatrox workers. The Aatrox don't believe in clan names. We've got Marcus. We've got Lucius. And we've got Titus. Looking around at the motley crew that I've assembled, there's me, Javier Jurado, Marcus, Lucius, and Titus, Dolores, the autistic-seeming technologist, and Vincent Vera, the young, pale-looking fuck-up of a miner. Carmela is off the ship. I explained the basics of the plan. Dolores seems completely fascinated, intrigued by the technical struggles. Marcus, Lucius, and Titus look impassively. I tried to read them. Are they going to be trouble? Yes. Soft yes. Is the trouble going to arise now? Strong yes. Titus looks over at me and says, what does he say? Does he say something related to Lucent Aatrox tensions? No. Does he say something related to money? No. Does he say something related to bloodlust? Yes. Um, does he want us as a group to fight someone else? No. Strong no. Does he is this related to a truck's custom? Yes. Is this related to ceremony? No. Uh, is this related to weapons? Yes. Titus pounds the table. He gestures towards uh my body where no sword or pistol dangles. He says, I can't follow someone who doesn't have a weapon. Holding my hands out, I say, uh, I didn't have one aboard my drifter, so no, I don't have one now. He slams the table. Why didn't you have one aboard your ship? What if you're boarded? I say, trust me, I won't. He says, you can always be boarded. Fighting hand to hand, fighting with a pistol, fighting with a dagger. You lucents are all the same. Can't hold your own in a fight. I try to remember the customary diffusement that my character knows. Success. Uh, Flipping over uh, uh, changing my posture, becoming larger. I turn to Titus. So is that it? Just a ceremonial dagger? We can pick one of those up. He says, no, I don't want ceremony. It has to mean something. You you Lucents think that we can be just pacified by a small gesture that you don't even believe in. I say, Uh, I pull down my collar, revealing the psionics badge pinned to my chest. He says, "So what?" I uh, attempt to yank the blade from his grasp using my telekinesis. Failure. The the blade uh, yanks and pulls, but he keeps his grip on the hilt. He says that you're gonna have to do better than that. Uh, and he rushes me and says, "Don't worry, I'll give you a little scar to remember me by." Um, and a fight ensues. Oh shit! I don't have a weapon. Are any of my men going to defend me? No. Uh, Knocking over the table with drinks on it, Titus walks forward towards me menacingly, the dagger in his hand. I look desperately towards the other Aatrox, but they seem more amused than anything. And my two Lucent hires uh, seem astounded, not sure what to do. Okay. Uh, I'm skilled in martial arts. Am I going to be able to hold my own against this guy? No. Uh, is he going to do more than superficial damage? No way. Uh, a uh, a gash across my face. Uh, he says, "I'm gonna help you look mean." As he draws the sharp blade across my forehead, I wince and cry out, "Get off of me! No!" Uh, Titus laughs to himself, blood gushing down from my forehead. Although the cut is not deep, um, I am disfigured. Uh, does this help me with the Aatrox, the other two Aatrox? Yes. The other two Aatrox, still thinking that this is the funniest thing in the world, uh, rise me to my feet and laughing, uh, say a little strength for you, huh, Lucent? I uh, I moan. I say, "Get the. We need to go to the med bay." Uh, and getting patched up after a brief interlude, our group prepares to leave. One man short. um, After we pile in tight and snug, just how the Tristan Charlie people like it. We are off in the drifter, back to uh, the Clarion. The crew, my little team assembled. I'm ready for the exploration of the poison asteroid. Um, and that's where we would continue. But I have lost steam, guys. 2 hours, 30 minutes. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna call it there. I think that worked out much better than I thought. I don't feel like I was at tremendously a loss at any point. Um, I think I don't think I really did a kind of really good partition between GM and player. Because I just kind of like said whatever came to mind and didn't clearly distinguish if I'm those two things, but I think it went really well. Um, Probably a little slow paced. I did a little bit of world building to begin with, but that was also like I may just use that, do a little bit more off screen so I can have more one person games in this world. But yeah, I think if I compressed the world building, I would be in much better shape. But that was that. That was a surprisingly painless one person UnPC. Let's go ahead and call out the people that came by. Thank you, Ear Trumpet. Thank you, the spawner. Thank you for giving me good luck. Thanks for showing up. Um, Thank you, the two of you. But that is that, and I'm going to call it. As always, tune in each week. We have the spawner saying thanks. Nice job. Thank you. Awesome. But yes, thanks for coming by. This has been the very first 1P UnPC. And I will do it again. But thank you. Good night, y'all.